And before I start this example, I'll tell you this particularly with reference to this predecessor of this IFRS 9, IS 39. As I told you, it is such a vast topic. Now you must have noticed. So there were many times people say, no, he is expert in financial instrument. He is expert in financial instrument. Like that. And some people also call me. I'm not flattering myself. Say that no, he is expert in financial instrument. But there is a risk there actually. And I'll tell you, the previous IASB chairman, I just forgot his name, but he used to say, David Beatty, he used to say, if somebody says he is an expert in IS 39, remember he has not read the standard. Because the standard is so vast, there is now the lighter note will start. So there are experts in certain areas, certain topics of that, and depending on where they work, exposure, etc., it is possible. And gone on those old days, where we used to call anybody as an expert, even if he is able to say IS 39 means financial instrument recognition presentation. We have to move away from that world now. We have to move into something like in a US type of a concept, where if you are expert or guru means you are really expert, not just on paper or somebody is calling you. You should be able to address everything in that. So with this lighter note, let's try to solve a simple example of amortized cost and effective interest rate method. We have spoken so much about that concept. So you can just take an example that bank gives a loan for 10 years at 7% interest of 500,000, and the loan carries an annual interest rate of 7% payable at the end of each year. And bank charges some fee, like 1.5% processing fee. It should be a non-refundable fee, processing fee. And they also incur certain costs. It may have appointed some valuer or other lawyers, etc., to create documentation, etc. Things like that. So it is incurred certain cost of rupees 25,000. These are called direct loan origination. We will see which there are requirements of which fees can come into this calculation, which will not. So this is the calculation, and now you have to apply the effective interest rate method, and that is called the amortized cost method. So in this case, what happens is you will have to calculate what is the effective interest rate. The contractual interest rate is 7, and effective interest rate will have to work out. And that when you are working out the effective interest rate, you have to take into account the contractual interest coming of 7% plus the processing fee which you have collected of 1,25,000 or 12,500, and deduct the costs, direct loan origination costs incurred for this purpose. So basically you do a cash flow projection of this over the period of this loan and come out with an effective interest rate. How will you come out with that effective interest rate? It is basically IRR in Excel sheet. If you have noticed, see, you start with, I gave them 500,000 and I am going to every year I am going to recover say 35,000, etc. Then end of the day, after that period, it gives you that 6.4%. So every year when you recognize the interest income on this loan, it should be at 6.4%. Right? This is the effective interest rate method of that calculation. In the current scenario, what we will be doing? This 12,500 will recognize entirely in P&L in the year when we collected it, and this other loan origination cost would have written it off in the P&L, and only 7% would have gone on recognizing. But is that the right method? The businessman looks at how? When he is looking at what is the effective yield on this loan, he will be looking at it in this fashion, right? He will also take the processing fee, he will also say that how much is my direct origination cost. Internally, he will be keeping that in mind. So the IFRS brings in that concept into the calculation. So what it does is now when you are starting initial carrying amount of the loan, or initial carrying amortized cost amount of the loan will be 500,000. I gave them the disbursed, and then 25,000 cost I incurred, 12,500 I received. So the initial starting amount will be, the column carrying amount of the loan is 5,12,500. In our current Indian scenario, we have started with 5 lakhs. Okay.
This example is from the point of view of the bank.
Bank.
So the bank will carry 5 lakh of loan at the amount of 5 lakh
12,500. It will carry.
Their asset will be, means I am still thinking like their asset will be more than that 12. Means
Yeah.
they had must paid the advocate or anyone the legal fees.
Yes.
And now they will carry as a asset.
Asset. Okay. So
It will not be a separate asset, it will be a part of the carrying amount.
So theoretically again,
Because separately it doesn't qualify as an asset.
separately you could qualify also because you are going to get the benefit of that. But it is as per our definition, it is part of the amortized cost. And practice में, I'll tell you, Jayesh bhai is talking, yes, standard में है. Practice में many, if you have a lot of loans etc., people carry these in separate accounts. Because in a bank etc., when you have to give a loan statement to the customer, if you show him 5,12,500, he will get confused because he only knows 5 lakh. So this is an operational complexity we have to keep in mind when we develop the systems etc. Yeah.
So it's clear annually till the loan disbursement, till the loan repaid.
Upfront fees payable.
Suppose a period of 5 years.
Okay. So this is from the, if you are from the banker side, you will have to determine is it part of this effective interest calculation or not.
Annually you could calculate effective or
No, one time you calculate. One time you calculate. One time you calculate. And one more interesting point also. Now I'll just show you this example, and then there is a little bit of a theory also behind this. You know, what is transaction fee that should be included? What are the transaction costs that should be included? Not everything can get included. We'll see. And whether the 7 year means contractual term में करना है हमको amortization or expected life means lower than that वो करना है. There are theory. So in this scenario you see, first when you start 1st April 2011, there is no interest cash flow, column A. There is no effective interest income for that year, but you start with 5,12,500, the last column. Column E. Next year, अपने annual account में 31st March 2012, contractual interest तो आपको आएगा 35,000 rupees, right? But that is the amount you will not recognize into your interest income at P&L. What you will recognize effective interest is column C, 6.4% on 5,12,500. Right? That is how we do. And difference between this 35,000 contractual interest and how much you have taken to P&L is basically the transaction cost net of fees. Right? That 2,341. Also you need to pass an entry amortizing that. Right? But that amortization, everything goes as part of your interest income. So new in the column E, the new amount will come, the new carrying amount or amortized cost is 5,10,300. So we will keep on the next year, we will recognize 6.4% on that 5,10,300. Are you all with me on this? So this is the way this amortized cost calculations has to happen. And end of the year you see, after 5 years, if everything has happened exactly like what we expected, the loan balance, the carrying amount comes to 5 lakh, 5 lakh customer pay कर देगा हमें, net हो जाएगा.
How I come to like 6.4% is the first one because I have only 7.
So So as I said, if you calculate 6.4%, Excel sheet में आपने IRR column है ना, IRR use करना पड़ेगा. And what you do is you start with your cash flow minus 500,000, and also include those transaction fees and cost that all in the first year. Subsequent years, what you are getting care of each year 35,000, 35,000, and at the end of the year 5 lakh, which will come end of the 5-year term. So then you go and get that column, you say that IRR, it gives you 6.4%. Excel sheet में, Excel sheet में, in Excel sheet में आप ये करोगे तो it exactly comes out like that. Only thing is you have to plot the cash flows in the right way.
And this is the simple cash flow. Actually, these are not your simple cash flow, because the loan principal will be there, and you will be charging interest on a 3 months basis, 6 months basis, or it is due on that basis.
Yeah.
So that will come.
Yeah. And this is the annual bullet repayment etc. I have used. But there is a monthly installment EMI concept is there. Same calculations you can do. Excel में आप देखोगे वो EMI का वगैरह give the number, then out of EMI how much will go to the loan, how much will go to that. The similar table will come out. It's not that difficult.
In case of floating interest rate, I have to keep changing every year.
See, that is one of the challenge actually. In case of floating interest rates, you will not be able to do this establish that every time. But the standard currently does not give a very clear guidance on what should be done in that scenario. Theoretically, if you take strictly, every time the change happens, then for the remaining amount you recalculate the carrying amount. Difference between that at the time of that carrying amount, you adjust it to your pay. But if you have got variable rates, every 6 months if they are getting reset, if you have got automatic system which is working on this basis, fine. Otherwise, it may be a great challenging task for you.
So there are two ways possible. One is that, as he is rightly saying, that you revise every time. The simpler way will be that because it is a variable, you don't know the interest rate, what will be you will be paying, so that you leave it as it is. But whatever cost and the origination income which you are saying, that only that portion you amortize it on a weighted average basis, weighted average of loan.
Weighted
I think that is
average,
also
some
possible.
people do on a just straight line simple.
Yeah.
basis.
So because there will not be material variation, but I think weighted average of principal is generally the method which is there.
Suppose there is a prepayment in year 2. So shall we recompute at that moment because there will be a change in cash flow?
Yes, that is a real change in cash flow.
So this is actually going to be, customers make number of payments.
Yeah.
So there will be multiple instances in the actual scenario.
Yeah.
There will be lots of cash flow changes.
Yeah.
So at that time we shall.
You have to follow the recalculation. That is why revision to estimated cash flow. Like because of the prepayment happens, etc. The carrying amount of the instrument at the time of revision is adjusted with a corresponding P&L impact. It means in the year, for example, 31st March 2013, if we pay to 2,50,000 rupees, it means only 2,50,000 is remaining. That 2,50,000 rupees
Plus your remaining transaction cost of 7,959.
What you do is the remaining that amount, you will actually again at 6.4% find out what is the EIR on that. EIR will not change. At 6.4%, if you discount that amount, it will throw you new carrying amount. Instead of 5,07,959, the new amount can come to around 2,50,000 or something. The difference between these two amounts, after adjusting 2,50,000, the difference will go to your P&L as a adjustment to your effective interest.
That means the transaction cost pertaining to 2.5 lakh prepayment will go to P&L because it has been paid.
Yeah. But if you actually do this revision to estimated cash flows, it will actually, the proportionate amount not necessarily will go in. It may be slightly different from what if you had adopted the proportionate amount.
Yeah,
So
because
that
what will
basically-
happen is that either you have two options. Either the interest rate will change from 31st March to the effective interest rate. But it is better to keep effective interest rate same and
No, his case is different from that. His case is saying, I have actually estimated 5 lakh will pay only after 5 years. But there might be life situation that he pays 50% after 3 years. Then for that the standard gives a very good answer. If you go and see an example is there in IFRS 9, IGP 26, it actually shows you how you need to make that adjustment. It gives you actual calculation.
Plus, there are instances that buyers subsequently coming for reduction of tenure. So cash flows are now we are placing based on 5 years.
Yeah.
Now suppose he says that we make it 4 years.
There is
That
a
scenario also.
it will change. It's the same as the division of the estimated cash flow. Amount can change or the tenor can change. So in both the cases you follow the revision of estimated cash flows. And the difference between what is the current carrying amount and the new amount you will adjust to the PMS. Right?
One other aspect which is there is that there can be a lot of these restructurings which happen. So I think as far as restructuring is concerned, I think it is treated as a closure of the original loan, and you, I think, in the revised terms, you work out the cash flows again for the fresh loan. I think that is how it is.
That you will have restructuring will be a different scenario. It may qualify as a new loan,
Yes.
or it may end up as a revision in the estimated cash flows also.
So now in this particular case, change in the terms, see, it depends upon what is the reason for the changes in the terms. If the change in the terms, reduction may not probably be a restructuring, but if it is an increase in the term and because of the difficulties in the cash flow of the borrower,
Yeah.
that would be a restructuring.
That would be
Then
a
I think you, as if you are closing the old loan and then again work out based on the.
that you will have to see is it a substantial change in your restructuring. In that scenario you will do it. Otherwise, if it is not substantial change, that your cash flows are not changing by more than 10%, then you will follow this revision in the estimated cash flow. And since you brought out the restructuring, it may also sometimes restructuring may result into impairment. It will go out of this and get into the another kind of a mode of a calculation. Yeah. And interesting point I also tell you, you got this calculation how it should be done. Imagine the similar situation is there for borrowing. If you have borrowed, from a borrower's perspective, this same thing will apply. Only thing is the processing fee can go into a different kind of opposite side effect it will take. Right? Same, but in your case the interest expense will be on this 6.4%. So liabilities and assets, similar concept will apply for amortized cost calculation. And for assets, I will go back to a couple of things which I said. What are this one important points? See, basically the standard defines amortized cost means initially what is the fair value recognized, and then that is basically transaction price plus transaction cost or fees or discount premium also could be there. In case of loan, also there could be sometimes discount. But in case of bonds and debentures, that can be quite common. And then minus principal repayment, and if there is any impairment loss allowance, that is also be deducted. Yeah? And now the question is effective interest rate method calculation. What does it involve? This EIR means it exactly discounts the estimated cash payments and current cash flow to a current carrying amount. So that definition is same as our calculation of the IR, internal rate of return. And one of the important points when you are doing this ERR cash flows, the tenor, you will not take contractual tenor. The loan might be 7 years, 10 years, but sometimes, many times, you know that the loans etc. are getting repaid before that. In banks, mortgage loan might be given for 10 years, but historically based on the record, they know that it is getting loan for a period of 7 years, 5 years. So you have to do this EIR calculations initially at 5 years.
So can we go for an actual life or
Yes. You have to, there is no other option.
But you don't have historical data then.
If you don't have the historical data, is it possible that your portfolio is similar to somebody else's portfolio?
then industry standard.
Industry standard. Otherwise, then contractual cash flow. In my example, which is 7 years loan, I did it for 5 years because my estimation based on my historical record was 5 years.
Typically, housing loan people take for 20, but it normally gets closed within 10
Yeah,
years.
yeah. That is why the standard says that it should be on an expected life. So you need to back it up with certain your historical data. I took the case where this is a very simple straight interest rate, but there are cases where step up the interest rates. First year 8%, second year 10%, and like that. And that also, if you know it at the beginning, unlike the variable interest which you are talking about, which is based on LIBOR or MIBOR, which we don't know. It can be estimated, but we don't know. But in case of the step down, step up loans, which are called teaser rate loans, etc., we know those cash flows. You plot those cash flows, and it will give you effective interest rate. So then also you don't say that each period is varying, I am not going to calculate it. Yeah?
So has there been any representation to the government to also amend the income tax and provide for all the
Wait, income tax? Income tax very simple thing is that what adjustment you are doing, I am not concerned. You give me a contractual basis.
So sir, this is what the question is. When we are trying to effectively see the
So if these numbers are material, the industry feels that they want to be charged on this basis. That can be made. Government income tax and CBDT can consider that. Take the case, why this? There is this derivatives, mark-to-market, unrealized gains and losses. That you want to pay based on the accounting calculation? No, there you don't want. Why cash flow? Because there the CBDT has already said, unrealized gains and losses I need. No, I only on a realized basis I would. Because the cash flow impact might be high. But here also if it is felt that cash flow impact and the other operation complexity are more, it is our governments now much better. It is quite accommodating.
So, in the example that you gave, in that the effective interest rate is 6.4. If I am doing a prepayment, so the effective rate will change. So
No, it will not change. That's what that revision to estimated cash flows. If you see that example in the standard which is there, it will not change your effective interest rate, and you are not expected to change also.
So that's why it is written that the difference will go to P&L.
P&L.
It's written there.
Perspective adjustment.
So, and the other one which was talked about was the fees. If you have collected fees, which one? Not all fees will go into that calculation. Fees which are considered as integral part of the effective interest rate. The standard says the origination fees for compensation for creating loan documentation, evaluation of the borrower's credit worthiness. Those are the type of fees will be called as origination fees. Only those will go into that calculation. Yeah. And in case if there is a commitment fee to originate a loan, many cases bank में होता है कि you after next 3 months you can take, during 3 months you can take loan any point of time. So there is a commitment fee for that. What will you do for that fee? That fee, the standard says that if it is certain, the lender is certain that the commitment will be drawn out and loan will get graded, then you hold on to that fee collected till that time and include it loan as part of the effective interest rate. If it doesn't get exercised, then that time you take it to the P&L straightforward. And same thing on the other liability side, if you have paid some fees for originating somebody investing into your bonds and debenture, then that will go as the part of the effective interest rate of that financial liability.
What would happen, if you are issuing debentures, following now on commercial paper and the trading fees which are there?
Yeah.
Would these form the trading fees which are incurred? Would these form part of the transaction costs?
Yeah, they will. they would.
No, but then here what happens is that even there is an annual surveillance fee also which is this. So how do you treat that?
No, that annual service fee is fee for the period of that surveillance you amortize. It is not part of the effective interest rate of the issuance of that.
So only the initial waiting fee which you pay to wait a particular eventual.
Yeah.
Because without that, I think without the waiting you cannot issue. Even these fixed deposits also now the waiting is mandatory. So
Correct.
these fees, so for companies also which accept fixed deposits now, the waiting fees they will have to factor it in when they are.
Coming to your the definition, transaction cost. What this issue is relating to transaction cost. In the case of liabilities, you will be paying the fees, etc. In case of assets, also you might incur some additional transaction cost, like loan documentation has to be registered, stamp duty has to be paid, or if you have given the loan to arrange it through a broker, he brings you the many times we get call, right? Personal loan, Bank of Baroda, Kalelo and all that. Commission fellow is not doing just for his fun. Bank is giving me the fee. So those fees are also transaction costs therefore. The transaction costs that are incremental, that are directly attributable to the acquisition of financial asset or issuance of financial liability should be included as part of the interest income expense and allocated using the EI.
Theoretically, I think it could be also possible that you may get a waiting done, but you may not actually end up issuing some securities, or you may not actually go ahead with your fixed deposits. Even there may be a gap of, say, more than 1 year, financial capital. Then how would that happen?
In that scenario, if you are sure that it is going to be issued, you hold on to that amount till that time. But if you doesn't get issued,
Then it is again infructuous cost.
yeah. And this rating, I will tell you also, you have to be little careful with this liability.
That's what I'm
Because if this rating is for the entity, entire entity,
Then you know.
then it will not be directly attributable to the acquisition of that liability. Yes, sir.
Suppose I have taken a rating for an 100 crore bank line items, bank line exposure, and I divide it to 500 crore. Right? So I may take a term loan and all, and CCWC.
Okay.
I will allocate that rating to the, because I will take borrowing over the credit. So then how will I take that rating?
So if you are able to establish this cash flow by estimating the cash flows on that, then you include allocate that for that amount. But if you are not able to estimate it, the best thing is you hold on to that piece till you actually take on your liability. If you don't take the liability, then that point of time you write it off to the P&L. But if you actually take the loan, then over the loan period you can allocate it.
But I think this also is a valid question
Because I have not taken the entire 5 crore, so I will take over the period.
No
Right?
problem.
So how would I get
utilize
the
that?
liability to that?
Because in your 3 years also. So that is how you can allocate the rating fees. So it is better in such a scenario, maybe you probably ignore it if the
Then-
amount itself is not.
No, in that case, then the question arises either directly attributable to that asset or no.
See, it would be,
It can't be said as a direct
it is directly attributable to the facility, but then I think to allocate it against the individual roles may be difficult.
So, in allocation, you have to estimate and do it. Not possible. But in some cases, it may be possible, some it may not be possible. Like wardrobe facility, if you are going to pay, and you say that this is a wardrobe facility or that, then आपको EIR calculations match नहीं होगा. The best thing is that over the period of that wardrobe facility, you allocate it to the state liability. Like the wardrobe facility is for 1 year, you allocate that for over the period of 1 year.
Just to hold on is to show it balance sheet item as an
In case if you are going to say, for example, the liability के लिए specific है, right? You are going to issue that liability, that is what is. Then this is directly attributable to that. So then in that scenario, whether it is a liability or asset, you hold that fee till that product.
so as a cut-off date, you need to say I will show as a balance sheet item and as an asset,
Yeah.
financial asset.
Yes, you show it as a financial asset. when
And
it is
this asset is guided by 109, not by any other.
yeah, it is by 109 because it is linked to this financial asset or liability.
Specific contribution criteria.
I think
You get an economic benefit also indirectly, so it does meet the definition of an asset.
Can I
Yeah.
just add one more point over here? I think his question is, say for example, I have done a credit rating for raising the liability, which is of say 500 crore. But initially my issue is of 100 crore, maybe a bank loan or a bond. So then in that case, sir, my personal view is like all these rating things, whenever you will go for a second tranche, first you have to check whether that validity of the rating is still there or not. Because normally,
It's for 1 year.
yeah, rating fee is for a short period and whatever will be your net worth at that point in time. So if there is no direct nexus between the amount of the liability raised vis-a-vis this rating fee, then even though if you have initially planned to do a liability of say 500 crore, but you approach the bank only for say 200 crore, then also the rating fee is directly attributable to that 200 crore worth of liability, because unless and until you do that rating, you are not going to get any single credit facility from the lender. In that case, it is fitting into the definition of directly attributable. It does not change like our current concept of how much quantity can be amortized over the period of the that liability vis-a-vis the amount of the liability.
So basically, what Kanaka is saying is that, see, generally, these fees are payable on a slab basis. So up to 1,000 crore, then 1,000 to 5,000 crores or whatever. So generally, people will take 1,000 crores if that is a slab, right? But then you have to go by intention that, okay, you are going to draw only 300 crores, let's say. If your plan is to draw only 300 crores, then you have to take it over 300 crores. That is one thing. Second is that I think you need to keep in mind that it has to be a directly attributable cost. I think the example was that, let's say there is a FD. If there is a program of FD and you are having the FD department, all the cost of FD department you will not be able to take it in IRB. So you need to keep in mind that there has to be a directly attributable. It means that on a percentage basis you should get some benefit. Okay, so that you need to keep in mind.
I see one of the things is directly attributable here. You have to keep in mind, all the marginal costing we are paying variable cost.
If it is not done,
Yeah, that kind of a thing will have to, that is a thing which qualifies. Because directly attributable might be, like Jayesh this has brought it very right, that there is a department which is raising it, but it has no linkage to the amount of the assets or liabilities I am creating. It is like a fixed cost. Some people are sitting there, and whether I give 100 loans or 2 loans, they are there. Then that is not direct, that is not an incremental cost. So our marginal costing thing, keep in mind. And this is one of the difference, difference between the US GAAP transaction cost amortization and ad hoc. US GAAP allows that kind of a cost also, including the board of directors, credit committees cost, etc. also on a very estimated basis can be included in this. But here IFRS is little, we can say, more prudent and conservative. That does not allow you to hold on to lot of costs, saying that it is attributable. Yeah. Any other questions? And one of the important things also when you are looking at this cost, especially for the banks, etc., it has to be very clear that the number of transactions which you do are quite many. And this cost which is attributable, then they should be available to you on a timely basis. When you are actually booking the loan, etc., that data should be available. Because as I said, once you determine EIR, once you completed your reporting period, next year your reporting period, you can't go and change the EIR. It is frozen, means frozen.
Suppose I'm giving, like in case of housing loans, we give loan on slab. As per the requirement we disperse, and then finally we will give him the 100% loan.
Okay.
So in that case, how will, at what point of time will compute here?
You actually estimate the cash flows if it is possible for you. If it is not possible, don't capitalize this cost right away.
But after say 1 year or 2 years, that loan will come.
No, loan,
I'll be
you don't
disbursing
know,
in parts.
but you don't know when then if that is the case,
Then I can, carry forward entire cost till the time that loan, 100% disbursed.
no, I won't advise you to carry forward.
And till that time, what the interest will be?
Then no,
You have to
you
start
don't
putting
carry
your-
forward.
Interest will be there, but I'm saying the initial जो origination cost है, what to
उसको
go with that?
नहीं, you write it off.
So, and
When
what you estimate?
when the time is incurred, you write it off. I understand your many construction loans which you give, disbursement will be based on each time the construction happens. Then if you are actually able to establish reliably the cash flow, at this point of time this will be drawn down, this is going to be done. Sometimes it may be possible for the banks, because you as a banker also you would like to see that what time cash flow happens. If it is there, then you actually
Not the cash
solve
flow,
the cash flow.
that
Please do that. If you are not able to do it, that kind of estimation reliably, best thing is the time you incur the cost to write.
It's a management discussion.
Not entirely.
But you will
It's
have
a-
actually,
Because we are not following the
It has to be supported by behavioral and statistical analysis and data.
Yeah.
I think that is what is
So it's
most
not a
important.
discretion, but it is definitely an estimate.
Estimate, but it has to be supportable.
because what happens is if you are able to actually you are based on your portfolio history, the auditor sees that yes, you are able to, although you are given this loan, you are able to know that you agreed with him that I will give you as first month I will give you so much, second month I will give you so much, all that you will give, right? But you are saying that management call is that no, I am not able to reliably estimate, so I write it off. That question will come even if you write off. No, it's not an option. It's not an option. Depends on your history, analysis of the portfolio, and your terms and conditions of the loan.
So can I hold that transaction cost for say that disbursement may happen say after 15 months?
Yeah, you can hold it.
Can I hold that for 15 months and then I'll determine an EIR?
No, you can hold it, but you can hold it proportionately. So let's say if it is a 10 crores of
For
loan.
15 months also I have to charge it off to the PA.
Yeah, so 2 crores loan which has already been disbursed, on that proportion you have to start this.
Amortizing.
Yes.
See, if you see the commitment fee also it talks about. If commitment fees to originate a loan, and it is probable that because we are lending arrangement to render it, then you hold on to that, let them include it as part of the IR. Same logic will apply for transaction cost also, right?
I don't think holding is required because you are estimating only the cash flow. When you are making cash flow,
No, so
your cash in is making your IRR.
No, so you are holding on.
Holding on.
Basically holding on.
I don't think proportionate की जरूरत है if I are making IRR only.
Proportionately you are holding on. So I think you are just carrying forward.
Okay. The proportionate
Whatever way you.
whichever way you and don't think it from cost high, hold karo, other medium basis.
Now I am thinking as it's only cash flow. This is my cash flow, so this is cash out,
Yeah.
or cash is. I am estimating based on that. Based on that, my IRR is.
Yeah.
So estimate में जहाँ भी change होगा उसका impact we will take to P&L.
Yes, yes.
So proportionate करने की जरूरत ही नहीं
नहीं पर तो hold on है. Holding ही है.
It is holding only.
Holding. Holding only. So both fees and costs, if you are sure so that it will
You have to estimate. Next
asset or
estimate.
liability will come in future, you can hold on. But only thing is back it up with your strong evidence that probability is there. It happens. Yeah. Good. Banks have to be careful when you are talking about this transaction cost, etc., which amortize in the customer statements, etc. It should not get involved. Because the customer is interested only in the contractual terms. Easily when you are setting up your system, be careful that this element is separately tracked.
Your tax directory also.
Yeah. Tax also, like our friend said that what's to be done, then we need to keep that in mind. Okay, with this now, floating rate also we discussed. What we'll do is we'll now, this is about amortized cost. I'll now our new speaker on these two topics, de-recognition and hedge accounting. Anaga is here. We'll just with a little bit introduction in this one, we'll start with those topics till we break for tea after 1 hour 15 minutes or so. Then that time from 4 o'clock then you I'll again come back. But now we'll start with de-recognition, hedge accounting. Do you have any questions now on this amortized cost and EIR? You're all now experts. You can do amortized cost calculation because our objective is that Chamber of Tax Consultants wants that whether it is financial assets or liabilities, you all should be understand the underlying principle and calculation to Excel. You are all experts. Okay.
So I think our new speaker is Anaga, and she is partner with FPCP and